Of an unmarried couple, be close. In the last lesson we talked about generating this one hub with a battery pack. What about the other wheels? We can just apply this battery pack to generate it. First we can top this face, and this. We can start by disbanding the group for it. Then blow it up a little. What about generating this one? We're going to right-click and grab it. These sides should also be chosen in order. Let's brush these brackets over. And then you can also put it in the handle. Then connect this line. As soon as you connect it, it replaces the previous one. We double-click here to put a small, and then turn this bracket off. Then we double-click to make it bigger. You see, we've lost the whole way. We just need to pull to the very back of this battery pack. Shell it out. Shells to this layer 8. Then this hub is generated. And then what? Hide this keel member a little bit. What about its numbers? What about machining length data? We are also going through this one. First we'll use this to duplicate the edges. Let's copy this edge. What happens after you've copied it? Right-click on this to pick up multiple lines. Grab it and it'll be this green color. And then just lend it. It'll replace it. Self-do to Walsall physics. And then we can then get the lengths of these. We shelled it out. What about before we prepare the lesson? We can create a new layer. Let's say this is a data layer. So let's take this shell. Interjection of surprise, put in this data layer. You can group. Then this one will do. The shells we put on this data layer. Numbered layers and length layers. You can put it on 2 different layers. It's fine. Ah, all the data has gone up. What about the data we offset? It's this figure 0.967. We combine and offset with this. Reverse the 0.967 a magnet whether the tolerance of 0.1 can be. Then double-click here. And then make this one a hidden one. And this side? Let's click on the attributes. Hide the structural lines, too. Double-click here to make it enlarge after. And then we're replacing this one face. This we right-click and select the poly surface. And then you can put it in F. And then we'll lend it to him. And then this face replaces. Then we have to replace this face. What about this side? Let's hide the rhino's face for a moment. And this one? It's this facet we right-click to lose multiple facets. Interjection of surprise, it just blew up. So we can pick up this face up here. Pick it up. Just to be sure. And then you can self-inject into this tube. And then give it a connection over. Let's take this layer and do a turn off. Of an unmarried couple, be close. And now we can find this, and this one at the end. You see this keel is automatically generated. We shell to this keel layer. Then the processing data we give it the same. To make it a little clearer, let's hide the structural lines. What about the length of this process? We can also use this to first copy its sides. Copy it all the way around the edge. Then enter. Then right-click to pick up multiple wires to connect to it. You can put it in the class. And then this can be shelled to this data layer. Data layer cluster I. This one also shells to the data layer to store it a bit. Of an unmarried couple, be close. So this processing data is also out. And what about this length data? How far does this will extend? We are now extending into this facet. Do you need to come back? Come back if you need to. It needs to be extended a bit. Just make that wire a little longer. What if it doesn't have to be this long? We're gonna cut it off here. What happens when you cut it off? Go back and copy the edges, and then another export of this length data. Of an unmarried couple, be close. Where's the rest of the keel? Also following this method you can go ahead and generate a bit. It's a good idea to check after generating. Look for errors.